Alrighty, we see Ljovynn flexing their rank 999 badge because you can automate that. And we're starting off on River. This is one of Jovynn's least favorite maps because of how reliant it is on base combos. This is the 4th Harmony opener on River we've seen today.
I guess it's
which
just a new meta idea.
Yep. Like, I love Harmony the character, but I hate the card with a burning passion.
Why do you think it's gaining popularity?
I think, well, it just reaches, it's always been a decent opener on River. I tend not to like it because it's harder to free flow, build around. You need your base combos, but on this map, like, you're required to have base combos anyways. Ljovynn is real. They're planning out their defensive options. From the looks of it, it is very greedy, and thankfully they do have the hard read on Polly. This is the team that won the first ever Tableturf Crew Showdown. So they know each other fairly well, and clearly Ljovynn knows that Polly isn't playing offensively there.
Yeah.
So this is turning into our standard River Drift game where nobody does anything. They just sit back in their base and base combo. And it's really going to be up to who's going to be able to get their draws first. Because the second that Ljovynn gets 3 special, I guarantee you they're specialing that Splat Charger right into Polly's base.
Yeah. If they get if he gets a 3, like a Splat Bomb or something like that, there's just a perfect spot in the middle just to drop it and be like, oh, look, I have a really easy way just to invade your territory now.
Yeah. I'm not sure. We're setting up for Gorilla. Polly and Ljovynn are running very, very similar decks. Because I'm pretty sure it's Polly that has, yeah, it was Polly that has, Griller, Octo Shield or something. Yeah, no, these decks are, like, almost identical, except Cuttlefish instead of Harmony, I think, in Jovynn's deck. Both. Oh, no, I stand corrected. These are just the same decks, aren't they?
Alright, here comes the Pierce.
Ooh, the question is, if these are the same decks and these two have worked together on this, is Polly gonna have a Splat Charger as well? Polly has just as much special. They got something else.
Both breaking into their turf. We got a 312 already on the field.
However, I think that was really advantageous for Ljovynn because Polly has a much, much more wide open base than Ljovynn, whereas because Ljovynn already filled in most of his. Oh, Harmony getting obliterated by a clash.
There's nothing left of that poor girl. She got squished.
Jeez.
And Ljovynn now stuck in a really tough place where we've only got a Toxic Mist and a Tentatek, which the Tentatek is still going to be good, gets 2 special charged up here, but like these are very cheap cards. Granted, there's only so much room left. There's room for a little Judd in Jovynn's base, but that's honestly about it. You're picking from scraps otherwise.
Yeah, seriously. I think Jovynn's opting to go with the Tentec on the bottom instead of the top, because they'll be able to special and activate that. They'll be able to activate that special later on, as they're special attacking. Unfortunately, Ljovynn only has 3 special right now because of that both of them wasted 3 earlier. So we are gonna have to see passes. We will likely be seeing Toxic Mist.
Yeah, we're getting the Toxic Mist. Looking for a perfect here, gets it, and is able to get the special, so we have enough for the 312. That's going to shift huge tempo. And
yeah, that is going to be put Ljovynn in the lead by 3 points. Perfect splatter stream, that's going to be a win for Ljovynn. Guaranteed, there's nothing Polly can do about it. Wow.
didn't even have a 312 to really compete. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And we see why this guy is the #1 ranked player in the world. Alright, it is going to be up to Polly's counterpick, something that people have to do a lot against Ljovynn. Did I see an X-Garden? I did see an X-Garden. Yep. Trying to... The goal against Ljovynn is to bring him to the most RNG-dependent stages. And so that way you can luck out and get a win.
I think these players just need to get good.
True! The entire community needs to get good. Oh, we are seeing...
Goodness. Like, if this spike is just one of those things that cause chaos. We love a little chaos, but like...
We are seeing Ljovynn... He's running a checkerboard deck, which is... So, checkerboard decks are very, very uncommon on this map. But, to my knowledge, Ljovynn is the only person to run a checkerboard deck, which he's the best player. I feel like we should be following his lead. But, the history behind why, Ljovynn runs a checkerboard deck is in a tournament called Tableturf Trials, there was a challenge to make an X-Garden deck without any 7-longs, and the deck that Ljovynn made for that, he had said was even better than his normal X-Garden deck, and so he opted to go with that and then just modified it a little, added in some 7-longs to get this monstrosity of a deck that we have here, and it's a really good deck. That's all I can say about it.
Well, we'll see it in action, but this is like already the sloppiest X that I have seen in a very long time. Like, they are blocking each other off. We got a nice pierce, but it's like none of this territory looks properly owned by anyone aside from Ljovynn's like base.
Yeah, Ljovynn, this normally by this point we usually see about 4 or 5, sometimes even 6, 7 longs played, and we have seen 2. The E-Leader that was just played and the Boros. The meta for this map is shifting. It's still RNG hell, but it's shifting for the better, thankfully. Trying to get a read on where Polly's gonna play. Ljovyn's just not sure because this map's so open. It's one of them. Gets a clash, but unfortunately does not get the special activated, which I think was what Ljovynn was hoping for. I'm trying to decide whether to opt for the Annie or the Tri-Stringer.
I want the Annie, but that's specifically because Annie's a beam and I love her.
Yeah, the problem with Annie is it does give Polly a special point, which is very, very dangerous. We will be seeing Annie anyways, just farther down. Maybe. We'll see.
We gotta see what happens. We are quickly running out of space for all of these checkerboard cards, though. That's the big danger with the checkerboard deck, especially in somewhere like X.
Yeah, but Ljovynn, he's the top player for a reason. He's got these combos mapped out. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's gonna be able to get a point, 2 special points off of that, and then he's gonna play that Sprinkler for another 2 in his base, and then it would not surprise me if he has a card planned. If he has 96 gal or something, or Rapid Deco, I think would fit there to get 3 more points after that. That's crazy.
But yeah, this is the only play that makes sense for him right now. We got the Mudmouth into the Suction Bomb. That is a classic.
Right.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. And then, unfortunately, Splatana Stamper Nouveau was already used, but I'm pretty sure it would be normally be used to go right beside this Tri-Stringer.
But we're still getting 2 special off of this.
Yeah, no, it's still very powerful. This is putting him to 7 special, which is very, very respectable.
it's pretty huge for the last 3 turns. Like, there's a lot of opportunities to be able to get some, like, really stellar chains here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ljovynn still has a small to work with, that being Ink Mine. So need be, Ljovynn doesn't even have to special the final 3 turns. Could just chill, slowly farm some points and even a little more special, and then go out with a 17 size into a 312.
You're gonna just drop the Kozuna?
Yeah, assuming that a good spot is found, it's a very good option here. Because if you can get 2 special off of this, or even just 1 special, you can pass the next turn, or ideally you get Ink Mine, but...
I feel like the ideal play is to do something, yeah, like steal Eel with 1 or 2 specials, and then if you get the Ink Mine, then that's a really clean thing to follow up with, or you go for something relative, one of the others, and try to get a 3 special there. Well, no, you're going to be running out at that point. Actually, steal Eel where that Splatana was before, I feel like that would be a great play. Like, you don't get any stealing, but you get 2 special off of it, so it only costs 2, and you get like a 5 or 6.
Okay, didn't find any spots that they liked, but I don't think passing was the best play in any universe there.
No, that...
in my opinion.
Turning it into a Splatana would have been the right play to me.
Yeah. I guess Ljovynn's content with the point lead and up 8 special, or up 3 special. Ljovynn's not really worried.
Yeah.
As long as you get the 1 point off of this and keep the point lead, which it's a Kozuna, you're absolutely keeping the point lead.
Yeah.
That is gonna be an easy second win for Ljovynn, if I'm correct.
Yeah, there's no 3-point card that can turn this around even with perfection. That is going to be a second game point on a very, very chaotic. That was a fun X marks.
Yeah, I just realized, is that a 5-star undercover on Ljovynn's splash tag? That's... No, this man deserves to be #1 player. I'm sorry, that's insane.
Dedication.
Dedication using the worst weapon in the game.
That poor weapon doesn't deserve to be the worst weapon.
Yeah, not even the Kensei torpedo could save it.
Moving on to our next stage, we're going to Thunder Point, and
oh, this is a really strong hand for Ljovynn.
oh yeah.
Have it. Ouroboros is an opener to seal off, and then Shelly Donnie's just instantly gonna be able to go play very aggressive with it.
Nice block with an opening dynamo means that that area is pretty much secure. I actually can see the steel eel working its way around.
Yeah, the steel eel is absolutely the play. Ljovynn's running a really aggressive deck. That's crazy. Ljovynn's the one who popularized this map. Used to be fully hyper offense until Ljovynn was able to popularize a very defensive jelly deck, which has actually been the meta for a long time. I'm really surprised to see him running an offensive deck here.
I think Ljovynn just kind of decided, I think it's time for us to break the meta again. And here's I'm gonna do that.
He has complete control. That left side may look like it's lost, but line marker is gonna get right through that. Unfortunately, Ljovynn's not drawing the big man that they were hoping for the Ouroboros big man base combo, but I don't think Ljovynn really cares. He's more concerned about stopping the opponent's base combos.
Technically speaking, even in the situation, both have cut out like the corners for themselves. Like, They managed to secure that at least for what they were wanting.
Yes, this is what the standard Thunder Point match used to look like. And this is the meta that I miss so dearly.
Well, I'm sure you're skipping on daisies, seeing this happen so quickly.
This brings back good memories of when I could actually win tournaments. Holly, taking time to think. Winning that clash, I don't know the logic behind that.
That was specifically to Pierce. If you look right there, Polly now is able
I see
to
the
break
logic.
in.
Yeah, I see you. However,
so
I
now,
think
he's being forced to have to play defensively, and it's not going to he's gonna get a special off of this, but I don't feel like he's super happy with having to do this move.
yeah, yeah, that is a rough move to be forced to do. However, I do think you'll be able to point or a line marker in there. Activate the Octoburst special. It's not that bad for Ljovynn.
It's not too bad, but it also depends on what Polly does with this opening.
Absolutely.
And it's gonna be a forge. Perfect chop into the only base that Ljovynn has. There's a minute 3 points difference here. So, like, Jovin's really... Oh, we got a break in here too.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that one.
Yup, that's... No base is safe from offensive Ljovynn.
Both are doing a phenomenal job of just bloodthirsting.
Jeez. Fire Slasher only getting one special. Having this splatter color screen early for Ljovynn is very rough. I don't think it's what Ljovynn wanted to do at... I don't think it was a particularly...
It wasn't a terrible play, but it's also one of those situations where it's like... That, like splatter screen is really good early, or for what I've seen, early or late game, and he's been forced to play it mid-game. Like...
Yeah, I'm not really sure why Ljovynn was so scared of playing that angle shooter into the base. Like, I don't see a downside to it. He would have won a bitter clash.
Where are you even putting this bucket? Like, there... Okay, that's a good spot.
Yeah, it's just right here.
Alright.
Up 9 points and one special into the endgame. Ljovynn has a solid advantage. Is he going to be able to hold it? Probably.
It depends.
I mean, statistically, yes.
Statistically, yes. But it depends heavily on what Polly has cooking. Because there's a lot of opportunities for Polly to be able to just run things through too. And if Ljovynn doesn't find... Like, if they gets at least one special off, then we can drop a 3-12 afterwards.
I think I'm disagreeing with a lot of these plays that I'm seeing
like
Ljovynn
this is too
ever.
careful. Granted, what chain really is there? And if we're getting another pass from Polly, that does...
Yeah, we are gonna see a
really...
power clam in... Oh, Big Man? No. Ljovynn, you can't make that work. That's just not allowed. Straight up illegal. Play the power clam, get the easy two cards down, and take the easy dub.
Yeah, if Polly had done something on the turn where that Tentatek was dropped, this would be a completely different story. Must not have been able to draw anything worthwhile though, which really bites for this situation.
Yeah, Tableturf is a game about just making the odds in your favor. In my opinion, because everybody suffers from bad luck a ton, my opinion is that when you suffer from bad luck, it's not a luck issue, that's just a skill issue. You should have built your deck to not have, and should have played in a way that you didn't need to rely on luck.
Yeah.
So, that is a 3-0 coming from Ljovynn to not many people's surprise.